May is Mental Health Awareness Month, coming at a time where students may have the most stress with upcoming AP exams, graduation, and the school year coming to a close. Students may experience weakened mental health and, as a result, additional stress, anxiety, or instability. Students share how mental health has affected their day-to-day life.
My mental health affects my day-to-day life very heavily because that's something that really weighs on your mind, because especially when you're trying to focus in class or do something or interact with people, if you have something that's really stuck on your mind, it's like it's constantly there, and that's kind of hard to remove at times.
It makes me have to take a lot of mental breaks, and it affects a lot of my friendships too. I am a person who needs people who are supportive and not just like, hey, in the hallway, people who help me out, really, and the people who I'm really close with, they understand that, so thank you to you guys. Love you.
It determines how much work I'm willing to do and how much effort I'm willing to put into it and how social I'm willing to be.
Sometimes I just get really tired because of my mental health, and the days kind of get exhausting.
Inversely, school and life in general affects mental health as a whole.
School kind of makes it better, just in the sense that I have something to do because I feel a bit more productive, but on its own, it is very tiring and stressful.
I don't really get stressed out about school. A lot of my anxiety kind of fuels me to do well in school and kind of fuels me to be a perfectionist, so there's not really anything. I have great supportive parents who do so much for me, great friends, like I said earlier.
The work aspect of school, like homework and classwork, can be really draining and tiring and make things a lot harder, but the social aspect can be helpful and a nice distraction.
Although it can be difficult to cope with mental illness, there are many ways to get help and not have to be on our own.
I do. I see someone every 2 weeks, and I tend to he just has me talk, and he just listens the whole time, and that's really helpful to have just an outlet that kind of just accepts what you're saying to them.
For my mental health, I actually go to therapy every 2 weeks or so, and I take 2 types of medication. I take an anti-anxiety / antidepressant, and then I take an antipsychotic, which I just got put on a few months ago, but they're both really helpful, so I'm pro-medication for mental health. I think it's definitely very effective for a lot of people.
In order to get a complete picture of mental health in schools, we went to teachers and counselors to hear what they had to say.
I think kids are getting more stressed out, more anxious. They don't have as developed coping skills, and that it's actually becoming more well-known, and it's not like a taboo. Like, people aren't ashamed of mental health, so we hear more and more about it. So I think it's kind of evolving and kind of coming out more and more.
I think that students are just worried about everything now, mainly with college admissions and testing. And there's so many other factors too, as far as social media is out there too. I think all those things kind of combined. There's no one factor. It's all those things combined kind of have helped or hurt students in the long run, and maybe given them more stress and more anxiety as time has gone by.
I believe that as a society, we're more aware and we're more accepting that we need to look into mental health within students and kids and make sure we're addressing these issues, because they are prominent, and now society's finally starting to accept that these things are real and we need to address them.
So we actually started this year doing a group. It was a trial group to help out with anxiety and building up different coping skills for that, and how to help out, and even with notifying or kind of seeing what depression would be and some other things to kind of help out with getting yourself out of that. So we started that. We were planning on continuing that for next year. We also are updating our Zen rooms, so people can come down if they are anxious and kind of talk to a counselor, and we have a place that is for them to kind of relax and kind of get back in there. We're trying to identify students earlier. So, doing our minute meetings, we've been focusing on, how do you handle your own stress? What are some of the coping skills? And we want to bring more educational programs in to help the students out.
For me personally, I just like to talk to kids about, their weekend or stuff they're interested in. or just stuff that's not school related. You have to show that you're a person and that kids are people and they have stuff going on, whether it's in school, out of school, with their friends, with their families. So just talk to them like they're people and that they have their own stuff going on, because everybody does.
Well, I know, like, personally, I just listen a lot, there for them when they need. Always just trying to see what I can do better for them, what I can help them with if they're overwhelmed with school, how we can prioritize that and just make sure that their needs and their feelings are being heard, and just kind of be like a sounding board for them.
Don't be ashamed. If you're struggling, please come down, talk to an adult. I know a lot of times kids talk through their friends. A lot of times their friends may not be equipped with the right answers and kind of getting them the right help. So, we always have secretive, and we don't need it to be secretive. Just kind of come down and figure out what we can do to help you out.
If you are in need of extra support due to mental illness, you can call or text these numbers. Even though Mental Health Awareness Month is coming to a close, it is important that we continue to be aware of our own well-being alongside our friends. This is Elizabeth Shantz reporting for Laker Update.